Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Universe Mode on the JPG channel. We're here on Monday Night Raw, and we're starting things off with the WWE Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, officially heading into Wrestlemania season. Wrestlemania is indeed our next pay-per-view, and it's time to find out who this women's challenger will be. We know it's either going to be Bianca Belair or Becky Lynch. We're not sure which woman's going to step up to the plate and step up to challenge Mommy at WrestleMania. But tonight she is in singles action, and you know, right now she's just kind of waiting to see how her WrestleMania is going to be playing out this year. It could be a familiar face, one that she took the Women's Championship away from via submission at SummerSlam, the man Becky Lynch, the Royal Rumble winner, or it could be a woman that she's known almost her entire career in WWE, Bianca Belair. Two women that came up together through the NXT brand. Essentially came to the main roster around the same time as well, so a lot of similarities with those two ladies. And I mean, a lot of people would oftenly regard that as a dream match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, two of the most dominant female athletes of this generation. As here comes Candice LeRae down to the ring. And Candice LeRae, I mean, she actually missed out on the opportunity to head to Elimination Chamber a few weeks back, but I mean, this is a tremendous opportunity in itself, getting in the ring, getting some reps in with the Women's World Champion here on Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley. It's not Candice LeRae's first run-in with Rhea Ripley. We've seen her in the past take on Rhea Ripley, but lately this has been a new age kind of Candice, a new attitude Candice, almost a determined Candice LeRae in a way. Trying to make sure that come next year's WrestleMania, she's not skipping out any paychecks, because obviously we kind of know how the landscape of both women's matches will essentially be. We just don't know which who's going to choose who, really. I mean, like I said, we just determined our two other challengers for the World Championships last night at Elimination Chamber. Tremendous pay-per-view, by the way. Congratulations goes out to the two winners, Cody Rhodes and Bianca Belair. Belair, out of the two, survived from the number one position. Almost 35 minutes in that match and was able to come out on top. She fended off past foes like Bayley, Charlotte Flair. Io Sky was another one of those in the Elimination Chamber. Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. And you look at this, oh my goodness, Candice LeRae throwing caution to the wind there, but Rhea Ripley able to step out the way. And for Ripley, and she's kind of had a little bit of a break. I mean, we haven't seen her defend her championship since back at Survivor Series, really. So Ripley's had a long vacation, almost, in a way, with that Women's World Championship here on Monday Night Raw. But as you know, it is WrestleMania season, and believe me, if you're a champion, you're not getting left off the card. That's pretty much your golden ticket to the show of shows. And this year we're in Hollywood, so I mean, it's a big event that you do not want. Obviously, you don't ever want to miss WrestleMania, but something about being in Hollywood, you know the stars will be out. As look at this, a huge splash off the top rope. Candice LeRae could be in trouble. Gets the shoulder out at 2, though. Shoulder out at 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show lined up for you here tonight. Obviously, this match is going on right now. Our main event will see the Harbinger of Doom, Karrion Kross, taking on the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. And those kind of tensions started flaring up after McIntyre was the one to eliminate Karrion Kross from the Elimination Chamber rather quickly, honestly, almost surprisingly, in surprising fashion. We thought Karrion Kross was damn near going to win the entire thing. I think he lasted a good minute and a half before McIntyre was able to hit him with a Claymore and send him packing. So that's 2 times that the Harbinger of Doom missed out on a WrestleMania opportunity due to Drew McIntyre. If you remember correctly, back in the Men's Royal Rumble, Karrion Kross started the Royal Rumble at number 1 after losing to a match to Cody Rhodes that would see the winner enter number 30 as Candice LeRae with a beautiful tornado DDT to Rhea Ripley. Could this be it? Imagine you knock off Mommy on the road to WrestleMania. I mean, that would be absolutely crazy. But Candice LeRae, like I said, there's new attitude on Candice LeRae. That's what's pushing her. That's what's driving her. A huge knee to the midsection of Rhea Ripley. And now what the hell's Candice LeRae got planned here? Look at this, full head of steam. She spikes her once again, this time on that unforgiving floor outside of the ring. Like I stressed time and time again, there's only a thin layer of padding protecting these individuals from basically landing on concrete. And believe me, Rhea Ripley is feeling every last bit of both of those DDTs that Candice LeRae just picked. But wait a minute, Rhea Ripley able to turn it back around with a huge power bomb now. Rhea Ripley now sending Candice LeRae into the corner. I was almost going to mix her name up in a one word. And now Rhea Ripley, oh no, she's on that second rope. She's on that second rope with Candice, and now huge neck breaker off the second. Candice LeRae might be down and out here. Count of 1, 2. No, LeRae's able to power out. Power out at 2.5. I don't think Ripley can even believe her eyes at this point. And now wait a minute. Rhea Ripley looking to make short work of Candice LeRae, but Candice catches the boot. Candice catches the boot and now lighting Rhea Ripley up with strikes. Now it's Candice LeRae firing back once again. Like I said, she's a fighter, man. She just won't stay down. That's not in her blood. Her and her husband, Johnny Gargano, who we'll see next week in a qualifying match for a triple threat match for those Raw World Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. Her and Johnny Gargano just do not stay down, man. It's that resiliency in the Gargano household, the Gargano family, that is really the reason why they're oftenly fan favorites. Just look at this, Rhea Ripley hanging Candice LeRae out to dry. Handing Candice LeRae out to dry, and now Rhea Ripley, oh my goodness, boot right to the face. Nothing pretty about it whatsoever. Oh no, look at this. Takes the arm almost out of its socket in a way. And now Candice LeRae once again setting up for something huge here. Rhea Ripley floating into a Hurricane Rana. And now getting another pin on Mommy. There goes Candice LeRae. Rope break for Rhea Ripley though. Beautiful positioning and ring awareness from the Eradicator, from our women's champion here on Monday Night Raw. But, you know, come WrestleMania, the question has to be, will she still be the women's world champion on the red brand? Whether she faces Bianca Belair or the man Becky Lynch, that is a tough fight to walk out still on top, if you ask me. Either one of those ladies. Both those ladies are former WrestleMania headliners themselves as Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae, now look at this. Speaking of Gargano, stealing a page out of Gargano's playbook with the Gargano escape. Gargano escape locked in on the women's champion. She can make Rhea Ripley submit right here. She can make Rhea Ripley submit right here in honor that Rhea Ripley holds over the man Becky Lynch, making her submit in the middle of the ring back at SummerSlam. You know that's got to be eating away at the man. That might have something to do with her decision and who she wants to face at WrestleMania. You know she's looking to run it back with the Eradicator. Speaking of running it back, Rhea Ripley just ran straight forward into Candice LeRae. But wait a minute, got a little cocky. Candice LeRae now. Candice LeRae now has Rhea Ripley where she wants her. No, thought she almost got her right there. And both ladies with a stare down. Went for a chop. I think Ripley was going for something else too. But Candice LeRae fighting out once again. And now wait a minute, off the ropes goes Candice. Spikes Rhea Ripley. Spikes Rhea Ripley with a poison rod. This is the best Candice LeRae has ever looked against the women's champion. Oh, she went for a moonsault. No water in the pool. Ripley, before Candice can even get back up on her feet, hits her with a drop kick. But man, Rhea's injured, man. That Poison Rana coming off of earlier 2 DDTs spiking her right on her head as well. Candice LeRae can just feel the momentum shifting in this match. Now kicking at the head of Ripley. But Ripley able to slip away from Candice's attempt at a drop kick. And now, oh my goodness, there's a nasty drop kick of her own. And I think Rhea Ripley's done playing games at this point, man. Candice LeRae, like I said, has put up a valiant effort against the women's champion. But this is WrestleMania season, and believe me, this is when Rhea Ripley is at her best. This is a woman that has beaten Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Oh my goodness gracious, Candice LeRae able to step out of Rhea Ripley's way now with that, when she was going for that leg drop. But look at this, Rhea Ripley out of absolutely nowhere, just when you thought that she might have been down and out, hits Candice LeRae with the riptide, and that is enough to put the Poison Pixie away. Rhea Ripley, once again, proving why she dominates the women's division. But wait a minute, look behind you. We mentioned the tension between these two. We mentioned Becky Lynch perhaps wanting to get her lick back at Rhea Ripley after being quite literally humiliated at SummerSlam, having to submit in the middle of the ring. Are we looking at Becky Lynch's option? Are we looking at Becky Lynch's choice, as a matter of fact? Are we looking at Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch 2 come WrestleMania? We're going to have to follow that story very close by, folks. But coming up next, we mentioned that DIY is going to be in a qualifying match for a triple threat tag team match at WrestleMania. This is another qualifying match. The Judgment Day taking on the Blackpool Combat Club. We've seen these folks do battle before, but never with the stakes this high. It's either the Blackpool Combat Club or the Judgment Day that are submitting themselves into that triple threat tag team match come WrestleMania. Both Zayn and Owens will be watching this match very closely, considering the fact that they know these two teams very well. As a matter of fact, Blackpool Combat Club just got done a little over a month ago. Just got done, meeting KO and Zayn in a brutal street fight. In the Judgment Day, I mean, they've been looking for tag team championship gold almost all year now. It's always eluded them, but it's the show of shows that really matters. You get yourself on that card, you can find yourself being labeled as immortal. But ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we're gonna have to talk about that. Talk about what just happened there with Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. It's almost like say her name and she appears type situation. I was talking about both Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch throughout that match, but Becky Lynch happened to must have heard it quicker, because Becky Lynch now getting back into the face of Rhea Ripley. We have not seen Becky Lynch even really interact with Rhea Ripley since losing that women's championship back at SummerSlam. It's almost like Becky Lynch was kind of on like a career resurgence tour almost. She was getting some big wins here on Monday Night Raw, but never really even sniffed the Women's World Championship again. But now that she's won the Royal Rumble, like I said, she gets to choose whatever the hell she wants. And Becky Lynch getting in the face of Rhea Ripley is certainly if it's not alluding to the fact that Becky wants to go after Rhea Ripley again, then I don't know what would be. I mean, like I said, there's some animosity between those two ladies after what went down at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch, oftenly the one submitting people, oftenly a submission specialist, having to tap out in the middle of the ring to mommy Rhea Ripley. And like I said, I think that's just been eating away at the man ever since. She's never really looked as good as she did before SummerSlam since then. So it's almost like, look at this, Bryan Danielson dumping Priest on the back of his neck, the German suplex. It's almost like Becky Lynch is not going to be able to be completely back to herself. She's not going to be able to be the man 100% again until she fights her demons in the form of Rhea Ripley. As look at this, Damian Priest with a nice springboard forearm right toward Danielson. Blackpool Combat Club, they can find themselves right back in the title hunt if they get the win here tonight. But look at this, Finn Balor now, middle of the ring. Crossface locked in on Danielson. But Danielson able to slip away now. And now kick to the midsection of Balor. Lighting those chest up is Bryan Danielson. Now here comes the kicks. American Dragon lighting up the Prince Finn Balor. Man, this is exciting times. Like I said, most exciting time of the year in Universe Mode, WrestleMania. And now look at this, Spike's tail. Oh my goodness, Spike's Balor right on the crown of his head with a brain buster. There's literally nothing pretty or good about that. Now, I think Danielson was looking to tag Mox, and Mox getting a cheap shot in on Balor just to allow Danielson to get some more damage, more famous yes kicks from Bryan Danielson. I mentioned Claudio Castagnoli made his return back at the Royal Rumble. Now he's watching Blackpool Combat Club's back once again. As look at this, Danielson comes flying in with a suicide dive to Finn Balor, wasting little to no time as the Blackpool Combat Club. Obviously, they want to, they want to run it back with Zayn and KO. Whether that's going to be just them and the champs. Not really, because they're going to have to worry about a whole nother team. We know that DIY has a qualifying match next week as well. They're actually going to be taking on the team of Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, an old rivalry here in Universe Mode. If you guys have been following all year long, you know that DIY versus the Bloodline could quite possibly have been rivalry of the year. I mean, extended all the way from Money in the Bank between them and the Usos, which originally was pretty much just friendly competition, but it kind of just started boiling over to like a bitter disdain for one another, especially on the Usos side. The Usos just could not shake the fact that DIY, kept getting a number on them. They even won 2 out of 3 falls against the Usos back at SummerSlam. It all culminated in a tables, ladders, and chairs match back at Extreme Rules, and really the actual culmination would be War Games, where these two men right here, Danielson and Mox, would make their return and help out DIY, Gargano, and Ciampa inside War Games to face the entire team of the Bloodline. But often, I guess you could almost say that maybe DIY didn't get the best happy ending in that situation. They didn't get the win that night. The Bloodline came on top at the War Games match. So maybe there is some unfinished business between Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and DIY. We're going to find out next week and see which team moves on to WrestleMania to take on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Obviously, 2 other men the Bloodline have had run-ins with in the past. And now look at this, Danielson, huge knee strike to the face. Danielson firing up now. Priest in a bad way. He's going to want to get back to Balor soon. Oh, look at this now. Priest levels him. Oh, my goodness. Elevated flatliner out of absolutely nowhere. Danielson's hurt. No, Mox has to break it up, but now it's Balor getting involved. And Mox is trying to fight both of them off, but the numbers game is just too much. And now Priest has Danielson exactly where he wants him, and now with Mox being isolated, Judgment Day can do what they do best and attack like a pack of dogs. Punches straight to the face, man. Nothing really smooth about any of the offense that Priest is doing right now. Now look at this, Balor over the top rope onto Danielson. A little bit of payback from earlier. We saw Danielson launch himself at the Prince earlier on in the match, and now Balor getting Danielson back in this thing. But Danielson looking for the tag. Balor didn't realize it. Now Mox is in. But immediately. Oh my goodness, Balor's so good, man. Balor is a veteran of this business, man. He knows exactly what he's doing in there. As he just kicked the knee from out underneath Moxley. But Moxley now coming back into this thing. Another boss man slam. We saw him hit one earlier. Balor ducking the punches. You gotta be a scrapper to be able to win a ground and pound with Moxley. And now Balor puts Moxley in the corner. We've seen this time and time again. Balor going for that John Woo kick in the corner. Gets it. Moxley could be down and out here, but Danielson sensing his partner in danger. Oh my goodness, kick to the chest of Balor. This is really starting to break down as Moxley now has Priest. Look at this. Gosh pile driver to Priest, and now Moxley throws himself at Balor this time. This match really starting to spill out, folks. Obviously, all in the name of heading to WrestleMania for those World Tag Team Championships here on the red brand, as Moxley once again in control, setting the pace of this match to Finn Balor as he hits a ripcord lariat. Ripcord lariat to Balor. Balor might be out. No, he gets the shoulder out just at the last second. Shoulder out at the last second for sure. And now look at this. Moxley getting a fresh tag to Danielson now. Look at this. Oh my goodness, look at the offense. Look at the offense of Blackpool Combat Club. Flashy offense from the Combat Club, as that definitely just did a number on Finn Balor. If a number hasn't already been done on the former Universal Champion. And now Danielson gonna do what he does best. That's manipulate the body parts of his opponents. Look at this. Has Balor up now, but now it's Priest sensing danger. But Moxley with a running knee. To Priest. Danielson is trying to get rid of Priest. So is Moxley. Yeah, there's some bad blood between these teams as well. Like I said, this isn't their first encounter. They had a hell of a main event all these weeks ago. I want to say around December with these four. And now look at it in the ring. Balor's got Danielson. Mox doesn't realize Balor just spiked Danielson. But wait a minute, Mox getting him. Oh, the ref took a nasty spill there. And look at this. No. Knee to the face. Busaiku knee. If the ref wasn't out, we might see a winner here. But Priest, either way, able to save his partner. But for how long? As Danielson now takes the trash out. And oh man, I didn't realize Danielson was cut open. That's a nasty gash on Danielson's forehead. But I mean, these guys love to bleed anyway, so it doesn't really matter to them. As look at this, Moxley now. Oh no. Here it comes. Death Rider to Balor. Priest is isolated. Death Rider to Balor 1. Oh, the referee not playing any favorites now after Moxley accidentally knocked her out earlier. Obviously, using a little bit of abusive of authority there, but Moxley gets a second one to fall. Spike DDT on the apron to Priest. Blackpool Combat Club firing on all cylinders. Even with the slow pin, Moxley able to get the win and send himself and Danielson to Hollywood. What a tremendous match we just saw between these two teams. Judgment Day are gonna have to go back to the drawing board as far as getting themselves to WrestleMania, because Danielson and Moxley are headed straight there. Claudio celebrating with the Blackpool Combat Club as they move on. And next week we will find out which team will be joining them. We know DIY is in a qualifying match. Obviously Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso will be meeting them next week in our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the main event, this is going to be one hell of a good old hoss fight, a good old slobber knocker between the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre and the Harbinger of Doom, Karrion Kross. As I said, This issue kind of really stimulated after McIntyre eliminated Kross from the Elimination Chamber. Kross has made it a point that he wants a measure of revenge here tonight on the Scottish Warrior. And for Drew McIntyre, obviously he's missing out on a WrestleMania World title opportunity as well. Was not able to secure the win at Elimination Chamber. Of course, that win belonging to the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who still hasn't made his choice. Randy Orton's not on the show tonight, folks. The WWE Champion not on the show tonight. So we're unsure of his fate at WrestleMania. Could be taking on the Visionary. Seth Rollins could be taking on his old rival from last season, American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who never got his happy ending, never got to finish the story when it comes to finally defeating and overcoming his former mentor in Randy Orton. But at the same time, Cody can choose to do something that not pretty much anybody has as far as pinning or submitting the man. Cody Rhodes could be the first to defeat Gunther in Universe mode. Gunther is technically undefeated right now. The only time he lost was in a steel cage match when Kofi Kingston was just barely able to survive him and win the Intercontinental Champion. But Kofi had to escape the cage. That's not exactly the most prominent win, but obviously he's going to take it because at that point, Gunther had already beaten the ever-living crap out of him. And of course, Kofi Kingston was more than happy to take that Intercontinental Championship away from Gunther, a title that he held alongside the World Heavyweight Championship almost the entire year on Friday Night SmackDown. This man was literally running both divisions almost an entire year, ladies and gentlemen. It was a rough time. Let me tell you. A few of those pay-per-views, Gunther even had to pull double duty. He had to wrestle twice in one night. Back at Backlash, he had to wrestle, funny you mentioned it, Drew McIntyre and Bryan Danielson in the same night. Was able to overcome both men somehow. That's just a testament to the ring general's ability in that ring and just how truly powerful he really is over there on Friday Night SmackDown. He is literally ruling it with an iron fist alongside Imperium, of course. Scarlett bringing down the Harbinger of Doom, the Toll Man himself, Karrion Kross, and tonight it looks like Drew McIntyre is going to have to pay the toll. But McIntyre, I mean, he's probably been itching for a fight at this point. McIntyre's been itching for a fight ever since he appeared back here on Monday Night Raw when he set his sights on the WWE Champion Randy Orton. And, I mean, like I said, at Elimination Chamber, McIntyre came within a hair's length of becoming WWE Champion in that match. 3 straight Claymores to Randy Orton, not enough to put the Viper away. And now McIntyre kind of finds himself, squandering for an opportunity to even make the Mania card at this point, as does Karrion Kross, a man that pretty much dominated most of Universe mode last year. He ran through most of the Raw roster at that point. Somehow Kross never received a World Championship opportunity, but this, like I said, this is gonna be a slugfest, folks. Ain't no headlocks, ain't no collar and elbows. These guys are gonna fight each other. Old rivals, McIntyre and Karrion Kross. I think I mentioned back at Elimination Chamber when I was mentioning the history between the men inside the Elimination Chamber. Karrion Kross actually made it a point to target McIntyre when in pursuit of his return to the company. McIntyre was then feuding with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, getting ready to head into his home country at Clash of the Castle, as McIntyre just dumped Kross over the top rope. He was heading into Clash of the Castle all those years back, getting ready to basically have the biggest match of his entire life in his home country, and he had this dark shadow looming over him the entire time in Karrion Kross. And these guys actually fought each other inside a steel cage match pretty much a month later after that. And McIntyre throwing Kross back to the outside. If there's any man that could actually amount and match the strength and the intensity of Karrion Kross, it has to be McIntyre. It has to be McIntyre. I mean, these guys are pretty much the same size. McIntyre's got a little bit of height on Karrion Kross, but that's about it. Pretty even match here, but at the same time, these are two completely different styles of this. They were both explosive styles, but McIntyre almost has a controlled method of going about his intensity and his explosiveness. Karrion Kross is a wild card, man. You have no idea what this man is going to do to you in the ring as he almost takes McIntyre's head off with the lariat. And like I said, there is frustration in Karrion Kross, man. Like I said, at one point he was pretty much dominating half of the Raw roster. Not even half, I would say 75% of it. And now he struggles to find himself on the WrestleMania card after a Royal Rumble defeat and Elimination Chamber defeat. Elimination Chamber defeat coming at the hands of Drew McIntyre. Thus why Karrion Kross is so upset and throwing McIntyre all around the arena. Sold out arena here tonight. Look at this. You got to be kidding me. The strength of Karrion Kross. And he just rolls over to a next one. Deadlift gut wrench for 2. McIntyre went flying on that second one. Count of 5 on the outside. I don't even think Karrion Kross cares about the ring count right now. He all he sees is red right now when he looks at McIntyre. He looks at a man that kept him away from a world title opportunity at WrestleMania, but now McIntyre throwing Kross back in. McIntyre throwing Kross back in, and now it's McIntyre sending Kross into the, oh my goodness gracious, sending Kross into the turnbuckle, and now McIntyre, big boot to the face. Big boot to the face of Karrion Kross does McIntyre. And now wait a minute, knees to the midsection. Knees to the midsection of McIntyre, and I think Kross was going for that cross jacket, but instead he gets the Saito suplex, dumping the Scottish Warrior on the back of his neck. Could this be it? To get a measure of revenge here tonight, McIntyre kicks out at 2. And now McIntyre fighting his way out of Karrion Kross's grasp, launching him with a belly-to-belly suplex. And now it's the former world champion McIntyre coming back into this thing after Kross looked to be dominating majority of this match. Huge spine buster to Kross. Like I said, you're not going to see Karrion Kross get manhandled by too many guys on the roster. But if you are going to see it, it's going to be the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. Look at this, sends Kross, but Kross looking to escape. No, gets kicked to the midsection for his, oh no, Scarlett. Scarlett over there providing the distraction, providing the assist for the Harbinger of Doom. McIntyre having an exchange of words with Scarlett, but look at this, caught the fist coming flying at his face. McIntyre with tremendous awareness there, but oh my goodness, Kross catches his attempt at the Glasgow Kiss, and now wait a minute, both men jockeying for position somehow after beating the ever-living crap out of each other in this match. Now McIntyre measuring Kross up to his feet. Kross, you might want to wake up now. Oh my goodness gracious. 290 pounds flying at you, full force, count of 2. Kross escapes. McIntyre just kicking him right back to the ground. Like I said, there's no love lost between these two brutes. As a deadlift, sit out, powerbomb, Kross kicking out at 1. McIntyre almost feels threatened by that kick out at 1, and now hits another power bomb for good measure, dumping Kross on his back once again. But now Scarlett once again getting involved on Kross's business. Kross jacket's locked in. Kross jacket is locked in. The Kross jacket's locked in. Could this be it? Kross looking to submit McIntyre. The ultimate humiliation. We talked about Becky Lynch's humiliation getting submitted at SummerSlam. Obviously, Karrion Kross would call this even if he was able to humiliate McIntyre here tonight. I don't know if he would call it even, but I'm sure he would at least feel a little bit better about himself after McIntyre costed him an opportunity to head towards WrestleMania But once again, we're at a stalemate. And now look at this, McIntyre. McIntyre's got, oh my God, he's got Kross deadlifting about 280, 285 for like the third time in this match. McIntyre's an absolute freak of nature, folks. And now, wait a minute, he's got him up in a power-up position again. Oh my goodness, off the ring post. Off the ring post goes Karrion Kross. Drew McIntyre, man, he might be seeing red as well as Kross gets launched into the barricade once again. Kross gets launched into the barricade once again, and now Drew McIntyre setting the pace of this match. Count of 8, these boys are going to want to get back in the ring. But Drew McIntyre, like I said, could be also upset with the fact that, and oh no, this match ends in a draw, folks. No winner, no satisfying victory for Karrion Kross, no satisfying victory for Drew McIntyre. Both these men, at the end of the day, the animosity just overcoming one another. We're going to have to figure out what's going on from here, folks. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our episode of Monday Night Raw. I have a feeling this issue's not over between these two until somebody sheds blood or gets their shoulders pinned to the mat. As always, ladies and gentlemen, is the most exciting time of the year. And you know I'm going to be seeing you all on the next one.